Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'm here to show you how far I've got on my journal today. This is the study journal that I'm doing with Esther and some of the girls, and it is such a pleasure to be working with everybody, and I'm just loving their videos. I think I was up to 44 videos on the playlist when I looked at it this morning. Probably more by now. Anyway, this little thing here is actually, I mean, obviously you can print it off on a larger size, but I've printed off small because I wanted it for tags, and I've popped one on here because you know I actually did this cover in my last video. And you've got verses here, and you've got little sayings, you know, all for this piece of God that we're doing at the moment. And this is free in the Truck and Subscribe group. I'm using this one. There is another one that Diane brought out the beginning of the week, and that one has labels with specific verses, you know, so you would have, say, Psalm 6:3 or something like that on it, and in those she's got words at the top and she's got them at the bottom, and there are 3 different colours. I'm not using them today because that is part of the actual study that we're going to be doing. I've not got to the stage of starting the study, you know, the actual one that everybody's doing, and also the labels everybody else is showing, so it's a bit daft to go through all of that again. So anyway, some of the ones on here is peace is a state of tranquility, and that is exactly what you get when you draw close to God. You get this, I don't know, nothing matters, almost as if you don't care. I'm sorry, it's the only way I can sort of really describe it. But these are lovely, lovely labels, and they come from our Esther. So I just want to show you them because this is where I got this from. So I'm going to have to sort of do it like this. In fact, I'm wondering if I should take it out of the... If I take them out of here, put this to one side and then show you one at a time. That might be a bit easier. So, on my inside cover, I've used this stuff. You would have seen it. It's great for sticking on parcels and using in crafting. And this is sort of a lovely, lovely soft grey. And I've used that to make a little pocket at the front. I haven't decided what I'm doing with these yet, but I'm keeping them in here so they don't get bent. I don't want them bent. If you look at them, you would use them as probably like this as a belly band or as a tuck spot or something like that if you're doing the journal this way round. Yep, because all the kits come, you know, both the kits that we're using are coming in tool journal and normal journal format. Okay, and I'm just going to show you really quickly these are the cards that I made. I put a picture of these in Emma's group, the Magical Paper Pantry. These beautiful images are part of a amazing collection that Zern put up. She got them all from her mother's own collection. She scanned them all, she tidies them up, and I will link where you can get all these from. And at the end of this video, I've done a flip through of some of the things that I will be using in my journal, but there is a lot. You've got 3 different downloads. There is also a prayer journaling you can get, which has, like, you know, you have the little boxes and you put the date and then who you want to pray for and things like this. And I made my mum one, so I'll actually link that video below so you can actually see what you get in this prayer journal, and it's absolutely beautiful, absolutely lovely. And then this is another one. I mean, obviously these were made for Easter, and this one is going to our Esther because Esther liked the blue one, but I stuck them in here so I wouldn't lose them, otherwise, you know, life happens. Particularly when you've got grandkids who like to go around your house. Now, because I'm going to be doing Yusuf, I found this online and I thought this is just perfect. Let me just get it out. Oh, that's it, they're open now. So this is the side I want to show you. It's a little bit fuzzy, but it works perfectly. And what I wanted to show was how far people walked in those days? Because yes, they had camels, but 9 times out of 10 you would have maybe 1 or 2 on a camel, but the rest of them all walking. So the Exodus, when Musa actually, Moses left Egypt, okay, now if we come up to about here, Cairo is sort of around here somewhere, but if you notice how far that they've had to walk, and they've wandered all the way around here and back down here and then up here. Now, this here is, you've got the Arab Peninsula here, which Saudi Arabia is in. You've got Gaza up here. You will have the West Bank in here, Israel in the middle, and then over here is Jordan. Okay, and that's sort of, but they, once they got to here, they went back here, they went up here and back down here. I mean, because they really did wander, and eventually they came to Jericho. Now, I love Jericho, absolutely beautiful little place, and we've got family in Jericho, through marriage, we've got family in Jericho, and I remember them bringing dates. Now, I'm talking about lopping a great big piece off the tree, so they're still attached, and it was hung in the passageway of Mum's house, as in Rashid's mum. And those dates, I have never ever tasted dates like it. Absolutely amazing. In fact, we even froze some for when the next Eid came. Oh, they were amazing. Coming straight off the tree. You will never taste dates like it. Absolutely incredible. Now, with Joseph, when he was with his parents, he was with Israel. He was in Canaan, right? Now, this is Canaan here. It's just so, I'm just giving a little bit of quick history, just so you know what we're talking about. So he's here. Now, there's a verse talking about Joseph going to find his brothers in Hebron, which is here. And Hebron's here, and then Bethlehem is over here, okay? Now, I was living in the middle, okay? I was there for a solid 3 months with my husband and the family, and it was amazing. I've been to Bethlehem, I've been to the Church of the Nativity. It is beautiful. The most amazing thing about it is the mosaic floors. You cannot walk on them. They have like a raised floor that you're walking on, but they have a piece that is uncovered that you can look down to see. And my goodness, the Romans knew how to do a mosaic floor. Absolutely stunning. Beautiful, beautiful place. I mean, Bethlehem's not that big, but the only thing is it's up a hill like this. It really is up a hill. Absolutely amazing. And Hebron is my favourite place in all the world. Basically because they have the most incredible craft shop, and the price of things is so cheap. The cotton that they use over in Palestine for doing their beautiful, beautiful embroidery is usually DMC. They have other ones, cheaper ones that you can get. Let me just see if I can see a ball. Yeah, I've got a book here. It's this type, just so you know what I'm talking about, this type. In fact, this actually came from over there as well. It's this kind, not the one that you split, not the 6 strands that you split off and find one. And this is the one, and these were about 40 pence. And when I come back home and I checked, they were about like £3.54 over here. So I had a field day over there, as you can imagine. Every time I went into Hebron, I was getting more and more threads. But that's a going back off the track. So when Joseph was actually made Aziz and he was in Egypt, okay, and his brothers came to him because it was a terrible situation. There was no food and everything else, which obviously Joseph had told everyone would be happening. They had to come a long way to get to here, okay? And it actually says here, Jacob lived in the land where his father had stayed, the land of Canaan. So this is Canaan. So it's a long way to get to Egypt. okay? And they would have had to have done that all by foot. And it is incredible when you actually look at it, to think how far they walked to go and try and get some food. They had very little to go and buy the food with, but they were that desperate, they went all that way. And it's just incredible when you actually see how big that journey is. So that's just a little thing that I wanted to share today. So I've already started this, and this is what I want to show you. Oops, a daisy. So one of the things I found was this. Now this is all copyright free, you know, I wouldn't use anything else. And it's the story of Joseph and his brothers. And I thought, how amazing is this? So I've printed it off, and it talks about the story, and it starts with, many centuries ago, a man named Jacob lived by the Mediterranean Sea. He had 12 sons, and his favourite son was Joseph. And those who know their Bible, and I'm sure a lot of you do, will know that from Joseph, the 12 tribes of Israel came from the 12 sons. That's how they came about. And I will link where I got this from down below. Everything's going to be linked down below, isn't it? So I've studied my study. Here we go. So these are the two dreams that Joseph had. This one comes from the Bible, and it says, we were binding sheaves of grain out in the field when suddenly my sheaf rose and stood upright, while your sheaves gathered around mine and bowed down to it. Well, that was one of the dreams that Joseph had, and obviously when he told his brothers, they weren't too chuffy, were they? That's when the plot started. You know, they were not happy. Dad had his favourite, and he was the favourite. He was then suddenly having these dreams, and they're thinking, hang on a minute, you think we're stupid? We're going to start bowing down to you, mate? Anyway, this is the other one that he had. When Joseph said to his father, "Oh, my father, indeed I have seen in a dream 11 stars and the sun and the moon, and I saw them prostrating to me." Now, this is from the Quran, okay? I'm using both just so you can see that they join up together, so to speak. Obviously, Jacob said to his son, "Don't tell anybody. If you tell somebody, you tell your brothers, they're going to start plotting against you." And what happened here when he told them this? They started plotting against him. Now, here are some more of these gorgeous cards from Arzan. Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace. I will not leave you comfortless. And I think that's one of the most amazing things about God is once you start praying, you start leaning on him, that peace does come, no matter what you are going through. Once you learn to give everything to God, to just give it to him, it brings a different peace that you're thinking, why have I not known this before? Why have I not gained this? This absolute certainty you have that you are going to be looked after. It's like a parent with a child, isn't it? That child has to learn that the parent is going nowhere. The parent will be there for them, will look after them, everything else. They go to drop them off school, first day at school or first day at nursery. And that child, even if it's been left with a friend or a cousin or somebody before, they are going to be worried. But because their parents have always come back to them, they learn to trust their parents. It's the same sort of thing with us. Gradually, you will build up your trust in God, and you will find that peace, no matter which way you do it. If you can't be wanting to start studying the Bible really in depth, try going to the Bible studies. Get a children's version of the stories in the Bible. Start with them. And my goodness, once you start to see the miracles that are in there and the reasons why people did what they did, it really changes your life. Now, Joseph I'm using the Arabic and the English just so you know where I'm going. This is the surah. There's a whole surah and it is just on Joseph. That means a chapter. And it is the one that people go to if they are in times of distress, they've got worries. And I didn't really think about that until I started going through it and reading it. And then a video popped up on my YouTube and it was about the actual surah. And I thought, well, that's funny. And they said at the beginning, this is the one that was written to give comfort to everybody who is going through distress or problems. This is the one you need to read. So that's why I'm going to be gradually going through the story of Joseph over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully it will help you see why things happen. You know, people blame God for things all the time. It's, you know, why did you do that? But there is always good in the bad, no matter what's going on. And sometimes you have to go through the good to find the bad to get on the right path. And it will make a difference to your life. Now, the story of Joseph is Genesis 37 right through to 40. And it's wonderful. Whoops. When you read it, Genesis 37 you read, then you'll get 39. Ignore 39 because that's about other people. And then it goes back to Joseph again, okay? So you just need to just keep reading after that. I think it actually goes up to 42 if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure it goes up to 42. Hang on, I'm just checking. 49. No, it's Genesis 37, then 39 to 49. And Genesis 38 is about Judah and Tamar, which you don't need because obviously you want to read the story of Joseph. Okay. Another one is Ern's, my soul shall be joyful in my God. Okay. And then here I've made, this is one of Esther's little pockets. I've been using my stickers that I made. And again, there's a couple more of Zern's lovely creations that I've popped in here. Now this, I love this. Now Diane was playing with hers today. I've not actually put anything on the inside, but it's a flippy trifold. How great is that? And I think this is amazing, and I will be working on this. And these are the pockets. There are pockets. There's one with Bible verses on, and others with, you know, without Bible verses. Okay. And things like this. Where are we? Let's get one of these out. Pieces of State of Tranquility. I think these will just be wonderful. Oh, by the way, I cut this down. I cut this down so I could use this to get my labels apart. And it made such a difference to my life, being able to get the labels. And also, I got the matte ones. Now, if you want to find these, I will again link these because they're really quite difficult to find. And what you do is you look up translucent. That is the name you need. Translucent, matte translucent printing paper. Okay, and you'll find it. But they are really, really difficult to find. They're not easy to find. The gloss ones you'll find everywhere. They just pop up all over the place. No problem. Let's see what I can put with that. Shall I put a... I've used a lot of butterflies. Well, the butterflies and that I've been using are Tracie Foxes. I went through all the different ones that I've got of Tracies. I've got so many of kits from, doing design team work with her over the years. And I thought, well, let's find something really gorgeous to put into this. I mean, how lovely is that? And the matte, obviously, you're not going to get the glare. Because that was just, I had no idea it was glaring so much. I really didn't. I was like, oh my goodness, when I saw the beginning. And I thought, well, I can't, read all that all over again. As we do. Let's just pick that off of there. Oops, I don't. Let's see what we can do here. These are lovely, aren't they? Yeah, so going back to Joseph, there is so much patience that he has. It is unbelievable. When he had his dreams, he knew, because his dad told him, that he would be taught the interpretation of dreams. And the place he needed to go to learn how to interpret dreams was Egypt. So although it was really awful that his brothers threw him in the well, he was then sold for 2 dirhams. And by the way, 2 dirhams in English money is about 22p. Okay, so 100 pennies is a pound here. So if you work it out how much a pound is to $1 these days, I think it's about 85p, something like that. You know, it is really, really insignificant. It meant he was worthless. And that, can you imagine having that feeling that you are worthless, that you are worth nothing? You know, it really, really got to me, that did, that he was so low, he was basically worthless. But we know he wasn't worthless. He was beloved. He had a beautiful character. And when you come to read the story, you will see of his beauty. When he was with Aziz and Aziz's wife was trying to seduce him, there's a story in there where she is, after, you know, basically chasing him to the door because she's insisting, because, you know, she's his master, so he should do as he's told. But he had more faith in God than he wanted to, you know, than to be tempted. Although he was tempted. I mean, come on, he was a mature man, you know, he was at his prime. Of course he would have been tempted. She was beautiful. But God came first. Anyway, when Aziz opened the door, he's seen what's going on, and she's saying, he tried to seduce me. He was trying to do this, that and the other. Anyway, a relative of Aziz turned round and said, if his clothing is torn from the front, she is of the truthful. If it is torn from the back, then he is of the truthful. So Aziz looked at his clothing, and obviously it was torn at the back. So he knew that Joseph was innocent. What happened then is there was a lot of gossip going on. Oh, you know, Aziz's wife, she was tempted by her slave. You know, this, what on earth? You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't want to have sex with your slave, would you? You know, that was just not even thought about. So she invited them to come and have something to eat with her. And she gave them all a knife. And they had the knives in their hand, obviously to cut the fruit. You know, you think about if you've got an apple, you want to cut an apple and what have you. And she then called Joseph out. And the women saw Joseph and could not believe how beautiful he was. And they were saying, he is nothing but a noble angel. Now, you think how hard that must have been for her to see this gorgeous, beautiful angel. And the women all cut their hands because they were just that, you know, they weren't even thinking about what they were doing. They were so busy looking at Joseph, this incredible person coming through the door, that they all cut their hands. And that story links to when he was in prison and how important it is. But I'm going to leave it there for now. But those are stories that are not actually in the Bible. They're in the Quran, because the Quran finishes the stories of the Bible. Okay? And, you know, when I thought of that, you know, how incredibly beautiful they'd made Joseph, you can see why his brothers were so jealous of him. anyone would have been. If he was a beautiful person, his father favoured him over everybody. He gave him that beautiful coat. We all know, you know, Donny Osmond, he did Joseph in the amazing Technicolor dream coat, you know, for Andrew Lloyd Webber and a few others. You know the story. Absolutely incredible to think that he had to be in Egypt to learn the interpretation of dreams. He had to be the favourite of his dad to be in the position where God could manipulate the situation to get him into Egypt. And it's amazing because God doesn't do things in the way we think we should. That things should be, say you got to a party to arrange, you'll have your little list, wouldn't you? Order this, buy this, sort this. Guarantee God will not do it that way. He would do it completely different in a way you cannot imagine. And that is His Majesty. And I every time when I think about things or I'm reading and I see something else, it astounds me. It's like I was reading the Quran and it's talking about the day of resurrection, okay? And it was talking about where a man would be stood with his legs crossed. No, crossed about themselves. That's right, crossed about themselves. And I stood there and thought, hang on a minute. When would you be in that position where you got your legs crossed like this? You know, they're around one another like that. Well, when you want to go to the bathroom, obviously. And then when you think about it, why would people be like that on the day of resurrection? Because they will be that scared because they have not done good, they have not turned towards God. That, of course, they're going to be in a state of, you know, discomfort. It's amazing the things I see when I'm reading things. These are just tidbits. Anyway, going back to here, so I've done my little journal cards. On the back's the lined paper, so I will write on them later. And I'm popping down all the little ones that Esther's given us today, and then I will put the interpretation on the back and share them on my next video. So I'm going to leave it like that for now and quickly flip through what else I've done because I don't want these videos to get too long. I absolutely love this. This envelope, it's that liney line paper, and again, these fussy cut birds are traces, and this up here is from the verses that you get. You can get a whole free printout of 40 verses, and Diane did them. And then inside, these journaling cards, I've popped them all the way through this. These journaling cards are part of the study journal that Zer made in the Ko-fi, and they are just absolutely perfect. And with the lines on the back, you can write maybe scriptures or something on the front and then your interpretation on the back. So I'm using these right the way through. Let's pop him back in there, my little birdie. It's all right, I only did 10 pages, you're okay. I've only put 10 pages together. I've done loads of ephemera, which I'll show you as I go through the weeks. And then I found this when I was online, and I had to put it in here. The Lord was with Joseph so that he prospered, and he lived in the house of his Egyptian master. And I absolutely love that. No matter what your circumstances, if you love God, you ask for forgiveness, you ask for his help, he will give it to you, providing you're thankful. And something I always think about is God helps those who help themselves. It's something I've said since I was a little girl. To me, if you want a better job or whatever, improve yourself. You're not just going to get another job because you want one. You need to be looking for the right one for you. You might need to get another qualification. You know, you might need to move. You might have to go to a different area to get the job you want. So if you meet Allah halfway, God halfway, you're going to get what you want. And the best time to pray to God is at night. The best time to pray to God is at night. When everything is quiet, there are no distractions of the day. You've not got the kids complaining. You've not got hubby wanting his cup of tea that he should have had, 5 minutes ago. You've not got the washing to do. It's at night. Find that peace at night. And if you don't want to do an actual down on your knees prayer or sit somewhere and pray, even if you talk in your head to God, he will hear you. I was always doing that when I was younger, blathering away in my head, talking about things, and it brings you closer. Anyway, let me just quickly finish this. So this is Peace of God, again, from out of that lovely kit. I've put these butterflies, again, are traces, and so is the plants. There's one of those journaling cards. These, you will see in the bit of the video after this. Even I am he that comforteth you. Comfort from Allah. Imagine having that, the comfort, and not keep worrying every day about everything that's going on in your life. Oops-a-daisy. I'm going to put my bigger rings in, I think, next time, because we're getting in a pickle here. Right. Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial, for when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life, which God has promised to those who love him. How beautiful is that? And one of my lovely lanterns. These have all my envelopes has got the journaling cards in that I showed you. And this one is, trust in him at all times, you people. Pour out your hearts to him, for God is our refuge. And that's Psalm 68:8. And it's absolutely lovely. This is one of Esther's gorgeous envelopes. And I'm never too sure which way to put it in, because I like both sides. It's one of those in a conundrum. And then I won't go through that lot, but this is what I wanted to show you today. Okay, here, these pockets, the lovely Paula Moore, she did these, and they are so easy to make, okay? Basically, I will link a video because it's really, really explanatory. You cut your A4 piece of paper into 4. So across here, down here. You then curve all your corners, okay? Get your little punch out and take all your corners off so they're rounded. You then fold this bit up to here, and that is your pocket once you glued it down. Now, Paula, when she did hers, she left this bit here not attached, so that if you wanted to put something in there, you could pull this down and turn it into an envelope. You could put your little Velcro dots on it or something, okay? So if there's something you really, that's personal, say you've got something from somewhere that you've been that is, reminds you of all that and it connects and you want to keep it in there, you could do that with these. And I absolutely love them, but I will put the video below. And then I've been doing, and then the other thing I'm going to show you are these. And that's the last thing then. You won't have to put them in much longer. Oh my goodness, I found a lovely, lovely site, and I am so happy. And they have children's games, and they're absolutely brilliant because they can help you with getting your connection to God. So we've got a picture of a cow here, and if you go over the back, Pharaoh had a dream. He was standing by the Nile when out of the river there came up 7 cows, sleek and fat, and they grazed among the reeds. Now, those who know the story of Pharaoh and Moses and, the plagues that went on will know this. This is part of Genesis. Anyway, I think it's 20 cards altogether. All of these just here are all part of Moses' story. Here's the snake. And every time I see the snake, honestly, I have a little giggle. So Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and did just as the Lord commanded. Aaron threw his staff down in front of Pharaoh and his officials, and it became a snake. And that's Exodus 7:10. Now, when Moses first was contacted by Allah. It was through the burning bush. He was with his family and they were on a journey, and he's seen the fire, and he says, you know, just wait here a minute, I'll go and investigate it. It might be people, and we might be able to get some, you know, eat with them or something, or we might be able to get some fire so we can build a fire to keep us warm. And that's when God spoke to him. And part of what he had to do was explain what he did with his staff. So God said to him, what do you do with your staff? You know, what's it for? And he says, well, I get leaves from the trees for the sheep, and, you know, I do other things with it. So God told him to throw it on the ground, and it turned into a snake. Now, my thought, and I know many other people have had this thought, is what would you have done if you suddenly saw a dirty, great big snake? Exactly what Moses did. He ran. He was not staying there for that snake. But of course, God called him back and says, you know, it's okay. This is just a trick that I'm giving you to take to Pharaoh, and you are quite safe. It's okay. He must have trusted God so much to go back. Most of us would have legged it. They were not going back, and they were so not picking that up. At least I wouldn't. Anyway, I'll read the rest another day. I don't want to keep you here too much. Envelopes. Right. This envelope, okay, is from Diane. It's in Diane's kit, and I absolutely love the shape of this one. And I'm leaving mine open so that I can write in them, okay? When you get something like this that you really love, make templates. I love making templates. I've got quite a few. And this one here is made from the template, because then it matches some of the other papers in my journal. And I think these are absolutely great. I just love the shape. It's perfect. It's like minarets, isn't it? And I'm just popping these on the front of these because I thought, well, what I will do later is I will read what's on the back and then put my interpretation or what I feel of the inside as a study. So that's why I wanted to show that today. So I'm going to leave it there because there's so much. We could be here for another 6 months. I did tell the girls there's a lot more for me to go through. You know, this is just part of the stuff I've already done. And my other journal is like that thick because I'm just enjoying this so much. So I will share all those things that I've told you about today. And I hope to see you all again soon. I'm hoping to do another video tomorrow. I'm a bit behind with the videos because when I have those days when my feet are really bad or the earache's really bad, you know, and I don't mean Levi down the end of the hallway, bless him. I can't film, but I do set of evenings and have a little play. So hopefully I'll get another video up tomorrow. So thank you so much for being here. Please go and support all the girls who are doing this. There's 9 of us all together, and just to go and subscribe to their channel will mean so much to them. I have a playlist. If you are able to play the playlist, it would be, again, a great thing for us because it would get the hashtag out there and get the videos out there. You can do it on silent. We don't mind. We're not fussed. You know, you can just sort of put it on your, I don't know, your PC, your laptop, whatever, and, you know, go out and buy your shopping. It would just help us so much. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I will try and work out what to do as a giveaway at the end of this. A couple of the girls already I know are doing giveaways. I've just got to work out where to do this, because obviously this is, you're not going to want the Bible and the Quran in the same book. I know that. So I will work out something at the end. I'll probably do like what I made for my mum, you know, the prayer journal or something like that. But I will work that out shortly in a couple of weeks. So thank you for being here. And please just watch the video at the end of this. It's about 5 minutes long, not very long. And it will explain more, and it will show you some of the things that you can get on our Ko-fi shop. The Ko-fi shop helps our design team buy ink, paper, things like that, because, you know, in this day and age, if you're on a design team, it's difficult. You know, the amount of money that you need for just the basics, you know yourself, if you're just crafting for yourself, buying paper and card and ink and glue and, you know, I won't go on. So have an amazing weekend, everybody. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. If not, it'll be Monday. And I hope that the weather is wonderful for you. And I'll see you all soon. Ta-da. Hi everyone, I'm just going to add this bit of video onto the end of the video that I will be doing tomorrow for the Faith Journal. These are printables that came from a load of stuff that Zern copied from her mother's massive, huge collection. And I wanted to show you the ones that I'm going to be using before I start backing them and chopping them up. I thought it'd be nice to just show you the sheets. There's a study journal in the coffee shop, which I've used, and I will link the video so you can go and have a look what I did with the study journal and lots of the ephemera from this. Then there's 3 different sets of vintage ephemera. Obviously, most of it is Victorian, and they are also in the coffee shop. So I've just chosen some that I thought would fit me and the journal that I'm making, and my idea of finding that peace in God. I'm going to be using Joseph through my Faith Journal. There are special verses specifically for each week, so I will be showing you the verses that are for those weeks from the Bible. I will continue to marry up things from the Bible and things from the Quran, just so that you can see that I'm still on the same page as everybody else. So these are some of them, and I just thought I'd pop in quick, show you these, and then I can add this bit of video onto the end of the video that I'm doing tomorrow. So I thought these, which are absolutely lovely, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. And it's quite funny because when you're a Muslim, they are constantly telling you to think about the Akira, which is paradise, heaven, whatever you want to call it, and not on worldly gains and not on what's on the earth. Because obviously you can't take anything with you when you go, can you? You really cannot. You know, once, you know, you're dead, you're dead. But all your good deeds will go with you. And obviously you want to be thinking about going to a beautiful place, not to the hellfire, hell, whatever you use in your terminology. I know in Wiccan and some pagan religions, they don't actually believe that there is a hellfire or that there's the opposite of the good. They don't believe the good and the bad. They just believe in the good. But my views, and I know most Christians and most people on the earth believe there is. So that to me was perfect. Right, so here, these are absolutely beautiful. They would be brilliant as pockets. You can cut them out and use them as pockets, or great for belly bands, and also brilliant as bookmarks. And talking of bookmarks, let me lift this up. I just absolutely love these. Look, the meek shall inherit the earth. Oh my goodness, I can remember that psalm from being at school, you know. These are just perfect. All things work together for good to them that love God. I just think these are lovely. I think they're absolutely beautiful. And then we've got some more up the top here. I won't spend too long going through these because there are a lot. They are just absolutely beautiful. But I've chosen some from out of each section, you know, because there are a lot. There are masses in the kits. So, you know, take what you want and decide which ones you like. I just love these. I just love all this. You know, you can cut this out as it is, or you can cut them, fussy cut them out. You know, and it's talking about confessing your sins and, you know, being contrite in heart. But most of all, it's talking about the Lord is good, his mercy is everlasting. And that's the most important thing, is that God shows mercy to us. You know, no matter what we do, we can still ask for forgiveness. And if you are sincere, he will forgive you. So I wanted this one because of the gorgeous, look at this, the 10 Commandments. How gorgeous is that? I think that is just beautiful. Perfect for a journal on faith. There are lots and lots and lots of cross pictures, pictures with crosses in. And the Victorians just have their way of wrapping them in beautiful flora. They really do. So lovely. Absolutely beautiful. The Lord be with you. And you straight away go to say, also with you, from when you were at church, when you know, it's an automatic reaction, isn't it? In the UK, they say, the Lord, well, the priest, vicar will say, the Lord be with you, and everybody says, and also with you. And as soon as I saw that, the first thing that came to my mind, I just thought it was lovely, with Jesus as the shepherd. I thought that was perfect, absolutely lovely. Really, really lovely images. Now, this is one of the pages I so wanted to show you. These are like those stickers that you got on a Sunday. If you went to Sunday school, you would get one for your book. And I just think they're wonderful. Look, pray without ceasing. You know, they are just gorgeous. And then you've got more here that are elongated, but the same thing. And you can just imagine collecting these on a Sunday, can't you? How beautiful would these be in a journal? I just love that peace lily. I've actually got a peace lily, and it's like a triffid these days. It is growing fast, really growing fast. When I was doing voluntary work at the Hub, and I was doing the fair share, Sainsbury's would give us, you know, plants that were out of date, and they couldn't sell things like this. And there was a lovely basket with this peace lily and a couple of other plants in it. Well, the other plants were just about gone, and a couple had died, and the peace lily was looking a bit sad, and it wasn't very big. Anyway, it is now like a triffid. It obviously likes being in my home. And I love these birds. I'm going to bring them up a bit because you probably won't be able to see the writing. There's one there, and it says, and Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. And then you got one about Abraham, or Ibrahim in Arabic. Abraham had dwelt... It's talking about in the land, but I can't see the words before that. Sorry, guys, but it's talking about Abraham, and obviously he was in the land of Canaan. If you don't know where Canaan is, Canaan is basically Shams, which is Palestine, going up into Syria, okay, and Lebanon. And I just love these. I thought these would be beautiful as stickers. You can cut these out as journaling cards. You can use them for ephemera, or put the whole lot in as it is. I mean, there are just some lovely things in there. So they're the ones I've chosen just to show for now, but there are a lot. So if you pop over to the Ko-fi shop and have a quick look, I'm sure you will find something that you can add to your journal to make it personal for you, because we don't want everybody making the same journal. That would be so silly. The design, well, it's not a design team, it's a creative team, okay, and we've only come together to do this. And there may be another one later on in about 6 months or so, and we will see how we get on, on this one, and what sort of reaction we get from people. And the whole idea is you aren't going to do the same as somebody else. You want it personal for you. A study journal is about you, it's not about somebody else. But the inspiration that you get from the videos, because we've got Tara. Oh, bless her heart. Her journal is just absolutely beautiful. And she has made a spine where she's put beads down the spine, and it is such a boho looking one. It's absolutely beautiful. Then you've got our lovely Esther. Esther has made one out of a box, you know, a packaging box. And the cover is that faux leather that you can make. Gorgeous. And she's made a couple of others as well. Everybody is doing something different. We have a tabbed journal, you know, where you've got the pages and you will put a tab here and it comes underneath the page there, tab there, and it comes underneath the page there. And then on the other one, they do the tabs the other way around. We've got sewn in journals, you know, doing the pamphlet stitch. I'm doing my ring bind journal. There is so much diversity in there. We've got the Maduri style as well, which I love. I love Maduri style because you can take the pages in and out. And if you muck something up, I can go in the bucket and you can put another one in. That's what I love about them. So please come on and join with us. Come and give some support to the girls. I have a playlist of all the girls' videos and I update it every day. As soon as the videos come out, I add them to the list. So it's very, very easy to click on, look at list. Don't click on the video because otherwise it'll start playing all the videos. Go to view the videos, and when you click on view, you'll then get the whole list come down and you can choose the ones you'd like to watch and be inspired and see what everybody's doing. So thank you. And this will be added on, this little video, to tomorrow's. So thanks for being here and listening to me. Hello everyone.